In a previous video, part 10 of this series on overthrowing the government, I talked about equivocation, which is when you change the meaning of a word during a discussion without acknowledging that the meaning has been changed. The federal government, our national government, makes use of the fallacy of equivocation in order to manipulate our thinking about taxation. And this becomes an extremely important issue that I'm going to talk about later in future videos. In regard to taxation, think of the Form 1040, the form you fill out when you pay federal income tax. Near the top, it has a box that you can check if you want. I think it's $3 to go to a special fund to help finance presidential campaigns. And the IRS explains that it's voluntary. You can check it or not check it, and nothing bad will happen if you don't check it. It's completely voluntary. It's entirely your choice. In material published by the IRS talking about the payment of tax, federal tax, they assert that it's voluntary. And I guess in a certain sense you can say that, in that it's a choice, but it's not voluntary in the same sense that checking the $3 box is voluntary. If someone walks up to me on the street, puts a gun in my face and says, "Give me $10, and I make the choice to do it, I guess you could claim that's voluntary, but it's not truly voluntary. If I see a homeless person on the street and I just decide to give them $10, that's voluntary. Paying taxes is not voluntary, because we know that even though federal agents don't come kick down our door and put guns in our faces forcing us to pay the tax, we know that if we don't pay the tax, ultimately that would happen. They would go through various legal steps to try to get us to pay the money, but ultimately they would, if necessary, come kick our door down and handcuff us at gunpoint and put us in prison. And if we tried to resist with sufficient force, they'd shoot us and kill us. We know that. So when we voluntarily pay our tax, it isn't voluntary in the normal sense of the word. It's an equivocation, and it's important that we understand that. And I'll talk about that further and show why this is such an important issue. Anyway, for now, thank you for listening. As usual, it's a cloudy, off and on drizzly day here in Bell Buckle, Tennessee, and it's really pleasant. Thank you.